Hello, my name is Eric and I'm doing another one of my photography vlogs called One Body, One Lens, One Roll, One Day. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to use a digital camera instead of a film camera, but in order to kind of give it that same perspective, feel, whatever you want to call it, I adapted my digital camera with an old classic manual focus film-based lens. And I'm going to limit myself to JPEG only, and then JPEG only, the standard default color settings, and about 24 shots. And I'll tell you about the lens in just a second. I'm going to set my camera up. Be right back. Okay, so this is how I set up my digital camera. I set up for JPEG only. I set it for natural color. I set my white balance to sunny day because it's a sunny day, but the clouds are coming out. So no auto white balance, no auto exposure settings, pure manual like an old classic film camera. I then bought a Nikon, this is a Nikon Z5 Mark II. I then bought a Z mount to M42 screw mount adapter, and I am using a 1960s Pentax or Asahi Super Takumar 50mm 1.4 that is affected by thorium radiation, so it does have a very yellowish cast to it. My memory card is now clear, and it is not letting me read enough stop because I've got f-stops on the lens and I can see the exposure. As I move the iris of the lens, I can see the exposure change on the back. So I am kind of in manual, like an old film camera. I'm going to shoot an old film lens, but this is going to be digital, or a digital body anyway. So we're going to try this challenge or this vlog episode with a digital body. All right, I am at Champion Creek at the heart of Medina. I've been here a couple times before. Let me go see what I can get. Okay, so the advantage of using a digital camera for this vlog is that I can see the exposure happening. Now I'm going to try to keep my view screen closed, so I'm going to use it more like a traditional body. I can see the effect because this live exposure through the viewfinder. I think I can shut that off, but there's a few film cameras that as you stop down you can see it darken, or you can use depth of field preview, which is kind of what this is running as. It's kind of like an all the time depth of field preview as you change your exposure. All right, I'm going to head down that way. Let's go take some photos. Okay, so the Champion Creek is not as active as it was. The last time I was here is very rainy the day before and very rushed. This is a very calm creek now. So now I can catch some cool reflections coming off of it. And let me see what, oh, I got a deer right nearby. Let me see if I can get him. Okay, so now I got a shot of a deer. I'm gonna get a shot of the creek. All right, be right back. Okay, so I am shooting my camera in manual mode, but I kind of set it for an 80th of a second, just so I can only hand hold it. And I'm really only using the aperture, so it's kind of more like an aperture priority, but I can move my shutter if I had to. There's actually two deer over there, but I caught a photo of one of them. Looks like two small does. All right, I'm gonna cross the bridge and I'm gonna keep going. Let's see what we can get. All right, so I'm on shot 12 of my 24 shot challenge. Let me go see what else I can get. So I've also set my camera to do a quick blackout, so it kind of again acts like a classic film camera. And I hear the click of the shutter as it goes off. So again, kind of imitating a film presence as much as I can while still shooting a digital camera. Now, as a reminder, the Pentax Asahi Takumar 50mm 1.4s and a couple others. There's a Canon 35 f2, there's some old Nikons that were manufactured with some thorium alloy during production. It is a slightly radioactive element that photographers never really had to worry about, but while they were making production, I guess the dust or whatever from that caused some health concerns for the technicians that were making the lens. They didn't find out about that till later, but this one does have that radiated element in it, and it is kind of yellowing discoloration. Some of the really bad affected ones, it's almost a very dark yellow or even a blackish yellow. There are ways to attempt to get rid of it, putting it, I think, in fluorescent light or out in the sunlight for a couple days or something like that will kind of neutralize the effect and kind of go back to normal. But a lot of film photographers do like that slight yellowing because it adds a little bit of warmth, like a slight warming filter, or black and white shooters gives you like that yellow contrast. All right, I'm on shot 14. I got 10 more photos of my 24 shot challenge. I'll be right back. Now, when using these adapters to put old manual focus lenses on your digital body, especially your mirrorless cameras where you need the adapter, there's a few digital DSLRs that can natively take some of these old manual lenses. Some of the Nikon DSLRs can accept AIS series lenses, and the Pentax system is pretty compatible with throughout their entire lineup. Canon DSLRs can go through their autofocus lineup, like if you put a classic film camera or a film lens, like a 2880, 28105, from a film-based Rebel onto a DSLR, totally compatible because it's the same lens mount, but it's harder to go back to the older FD mount lenses. When I got it, gave me a little bit of tool, or a little tiny screwdriver tool, and says that there's a silver mounting piece right here, and you can slightly change the depth of that as it rests on the adapter. Because what can happen if it's not sitting perfectly right for your lens, you can get a slight front focusing or slight back focusing. Now with an old manual lens and you're just looking through it, then you totally do it that way. But if you use the focusing help for your camera, whether it's marching ants, whether it's red lines, focus peaking, where it zooms in a bit, sometimes that's a little off if your lens is not sitting right on it. So I turn that off because I don't want that assistance. I just want to see what it is. That red just kind of, at least on this camera, it's red. I can change it to white or blue. I think a couple other colors. But the red, or that focus peaking, focus line zone, is a little distracting for me when I want to set it up. All right, I've got the creek right behind me. I am on shot 16, so I've got about 8 more photos left. Let me see what I can get. All right, let's go head that way. Let's go see what we can get. Okay, so today would have been a great day to have a polarizer because the sun's out, nice blue sky, nice clouds, but I don't have one that'll fit this particular lens, so I'm shooting it up as normal. And that's okay, but just remember, on days like this, grab your polarizer. You can get rid of that glare off of the water, or make your sky go a little bit bluer, make your clouds pop a little bit more. If you're at the beach, gets glare off of the sand or off of snow if you're doing more of a winter scene or snow scene. All right, got a couple shots left for my challenge. Let me see what else I can get. All right, so I've shot my 24th shot, and I'm gonna keep in mind that I'm making sure this is kind of like a roll of 24 exposure film. Images will be posted at the end. I will not do any editing to them because I'm shooting them in JPEG, and all my settings are where I kind of wanted to imitate a film camera. The only thing I might do is if I've got a heavy shutter finger, I might kind of crop to rebalance, but no color editing. If my exposure was slightly off, you'll see it. I'll pick probably 6 to 10 photos, probably not the entire set, but 6 to 10 photos that you'll see at the end. If you like them, feel free to give them a thumbs up. Feel free to comment or share with your experience using old classic manual lenses, film-based lenses on a digital body, sometimes with the adapter or straight up. Most mirrorless cameras, you're going to need an appropriate adapter. Feel free to share the episode if you're somebody that has a mirrorless camera, you think this might be a cool thing for them to take a look at. Feel free to share. Again, today's camera was my Nikon Z5 Mark II. I was using a Photasi M42 to NZ adapter that allows me to use my screw mount Takumar glass on my Z mount body. Today's lens was the Asahi Super Takumar 50mm 1.4 that is thorium radiated. Slight yellowing, not majorly so like some of the other lenses that are out there, but I do like the effect that it is currently giving me. If it goes too much darker, all right, maybe I'll take care of it. All right, thanks for watching. This is the digital version of one body, one lens, one roll, one day. Thanks for watching. See you next episode.